Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's call, the Deontay Wilder Media Conference Call. Your host for today is Ray Flores. Ray, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, operator. I want to thank the media for joining us wherever you are around the world. And we are so excited. We are 11 days away until the highly awaited rematch against unbeaten lineal champion Tyson Fury, going head-to-head against the man who will be talking later on during this conference call, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. This is a mega pay-per-view event, and when I talk about the magnitude of it, it requires two networks to come together. It's presented by Fox Sports Pay-Per-View and ESPN Plus Pay-Per-View live from the MGM Grand Garden Arena next Saturday, February 22nd, starting at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 Pacific time. Wilder Fury 2 has been highly anticipated since their first meeting at Staples Center in December of 2018, when Deontay Wilder retained his championship by way of split draw after Tyson Fury. I don't know how he did this, but he miraculously rose from the canvas after a 12th round knockdown to finish the fight. It is without a doubt one of the most memorable moments in heavyweight history, and it has raised the historical stakes heading into the rematch next Saturday, February 22nd. Tickets are on sale, but when I tell you they're going fast, I am not exaggerating. My goodness, are they flying? And you can purchase them at mgmbrand.com or axs.com. The event promoted by Box Live Promotions, TGB Promotions, Top Rank, and Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions, a Premier Boxing Champions presentation. Now, it takes a very good team to get a prize fighter to a level of this magnitude, along with the fighter's hard work. It gives me great honor and pleasure to introduce a man who's been around the sweet science for several decades. I want to welcome the co-manager of the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. Here is Shelly Finkel. Shelly?
Thank you. Not much to say, just been with Deontay and with Jay 13 years. Couldn't be prouder. The man is just special, and he's going to prove it again a week from Saturday on the 22nd. This time, the count will be done correctly, and you will see Deontay's hand raised and still heavyweight champion by knockout.
Thank you very much, Shelly. And now we will get an opportunity to talk with one of the co-trainers of the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder, along with Mark Breland. This man has understood and continues to get better in the corner. I think they're one of the best corners in boxing today. He has an eye for it. Please welcome JD's, the co-trainer of Deontay Wilder.
Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, camp has gone fantastic. Deontay is, he was so far ahead of where we needed to be on day one. It was like week 3. And so he's ready to go. And, this is the kind of fight and the kind of moment that he's been begging for a long time. And we're excited for it to be right here. And it's going to be fantastic. And Deontay Wilder will be the one face, one name, one champion, Deontay Wilder, come the 22nd.
Thank you very much, Jay. Looking forward to seeing you during fight week. Now let's get an opportunity to speak with the champion from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He is boxing's current longest reigning heavyweight champion. His 10 consecutive successful title defenses give him more than all-time greats Mike Tyson, Joe Frazier, Lennox Lewis, and matches Muhammad Ali's longest run of defenses of 10 consecutive successful title defenses. After the fight with Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder delivered 2 of 2019's top knockouts, highlight reel knockouts of Dominic Brazil at Barclays Center in New York in May, and then he followed it up by wiping out Luis Ortiz at the MGM Grand in November. After the fight with Ortiz, Deontay Wilder went to Rome and had the privilege of an audience with Pope Francis, who named him the 2020 Ambassador for Peace through Sports, joining the likes of Muhammad Ali and Riddick Bowe as the only American heavyweight champions to receive this honor. He's also the most active heavyweight champion, as February 22nd will be his 4th title defense in 14 months. And if you break down the math of that, that's almost a fight, a little over 3 months. So that just goes to show you how active Deontay Wilder is when it comes to fighting and defending his championship. When it comes to categorizing Deontay Wilder, the one word that comes to mind is exciting and also must see. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, with a record of 42 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 41 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the baddest man on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Deontay?
Yeah, baby. Hey, thank you, guys. What can I say? It's been a wonderful year for me. Last year, it's a wonderful year starting up this year. Wonderful year starting up this year as well. And I'm just looking forward to February the 22nd. It's a great moment in time for me. So many different events is happening, and of course we know that Black History Month as well. So I'm looking forward to providing my service to my greatness on Black history, and like I said, making him a Black history trivia question. It just, you know, the first fight was an amazing fight. It was a very controversial fight where it left people, you know, confused about what happened or who won, you know, and this is where we come and settle everything. This is Judgment Day. This is the moment where everyone will have a clear conscience after February the 22nd who actually won the first fight, and you're going to see who's going to win the second fight. This is unfinished business. I'm picking up where I left off at. I knocked him out the first time. I didn't get it, but I'm going to knock him out this time again, and this time he's not getting up, that's for sure. I promise you that. So I'm looking forward to it. This is a electrifying fight. I'm looking for electrifying energy come February 22nd in the arena at the MGM Grand. And yeah, baby, you don't want to miss this one as always. And as always, if you can't make it to the arena at the MGM Grand February the 22nd, pick up that remote and click that button, please. Fox pay-per-view, ESPN pay-per-view. Most likely the remote will be right beside you anyway, baby. Let's go. This is the biggest heavyweight title fight in boxing, period. And this is where it starts. The heavyweight division is so exciting, it's lit, it's on fire, and it's my job to keep it that way. Any questions?
The champ saying, "Oh, we'll open up to the media for questions." Operator?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you have any questions, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions, please press *1 on your telephone keypad. And I will allow a few moments for the queue to build. All right, our first question comes from Sam Gordon with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Sam, your line is now open.
Deontay, thanks for taking the time today. I just wanted to ask you, at what juncture, how did you discover that you had special, generational, all-time great power, and what have you done during the course of your career to help harness that as you improve and evolve?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat yourself?
Yeah. How did you discover exactly that you had all-time great power, and how have you harnessed it over the course of your career? What types of things have you done over the last decade or so to harness your all-time great power?
Yes, I discovered it. I've always had power. I always tell the story of how my grandmother said I was anointed by God, that God is trying to use me. But things, it's just all about coming into this world, finding your purpose in life. And I think I found one of my purposes in life. And, of course, it's willing as and take a name at this point in time. And I do that very well, but it just, I've just been blessed tremendously. It's one of the things I can't describe, how it transpired, how it formed. When you have a calling on your life, it's just that. I just have a calling on my life, and I'm providing my service to my greatness, and I'm showing the world who I am, what I am, and the champ is here, and he's not going anywhere. What was your second question?
Yeah, I was just over the course of your career, how you've been able to harness your power in the ring, and how you've been smarter and you've developed intelligence on how and when to use timing and things like that.
Yeah, well, the second, as far as how I'm to use and stuff, most of the things that I do become muscle memory. So especially when I have, hold on, excuse me.
I'm going to go.
All right. I'll tell you later. I'm sorry about that. Most of the things become muscle memory for me when I'm fighting fighters. And the preparation for the fight is always great. I always have great sparring partners coming in and giving me great looks to mimic the fighters. And so when it's time for me to fight them, it's like certain things, certain looks I've seen. I got some of the best coaches in the world. None of my coaches never get acknowledgement. They never get recognized. And you got one of the baddest men on the planet. You got the hardest hitting puncher in boxing history. And none of my coaches get recognized for the greatness that they display. They do a great job of scouting. My sparring partners out to get them to so I can have the best look possible to fight some of these guys. They do a lot of film study and to pinpoint certain mistakes and the rights and the wrongs that my opponent does. So when I'm in the ring, I understand that, and I can recognize it when I'm in the ring. So it becomes a muscle memory when I see it when it comes. And as when you have power, it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because when I hit guys, they either hurt or they go into the campus, and it's a curse I feel because I have so much power that when I hit things, I'm either hurting my opponent or anything that I'm hit, or I'm hurting myself, and that's it. There's nothing in between.
Thank you, Deontay. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, our next question comes from Dan Raphael. Dan, your line is now open.
Thank you very much. Hello, Deontay.
Hey, what's going on, Dan?
Hey, my question for you is this. When you guys made the deal for the rematch, the thing was you were going to have your 2 fights, and he was going to have his 2 fights. You obviously had the win against Brazil in the first round, spectacular knockout. Then you had the fight with Ortiz, stopped him, didn't really take any damage. At least it didn't appear that way when you fought him. And he had his fight with Schwartz, got rid of him easy. But in his second fight against Otto Whalen in September, he took a lot of damage in that fight. It was a close fight. He got that terrible cut over his eye. And I wonder if you going into this rematch with Tyson, if you look at the fight against Otto Whalen and think just maybe Otto Whalen may have taken a little starch out of Tyson Fury and left him a little bit worse for the wear as he goes into your rematch, fairly short timing after that match.
Yes. Whalen had I haven't seen the fight, but I'm going off of what I heard. Certain things. Of course, you just seen different highlights with the eye and different things. Whalen had a great game plan, and he executed it. And when he seen Fury was vulnerable, he took his chances, and by taking his chances, he ended up busting him in the eye, and it started cutting it open. It opened it, which I feel like the fight should have been stopped. With a cut so deep and a cut so wide, and you can't even see. But I understand that he had a major fight coming up with me, and he was saved because of this big fight that's happening right now. I will be exploring some of those things Whalen did. I'm definitely looking forward to recutting open in that eye, and if they want to, and once it is open and blood is all in his face, and I might get a little bit on me as well. That's all right. I'm gonna embrace it, We'll see if they continue to keep that fight on because I'm already dangerous. I'm already dangerous as is, and if that eye cut open again and they got blood in his face, then that's gonna be up to the doctors and a lot of other people to take proper protocol for that because I'm coming in for the kill. They already know my demeanor about myself. You already know my mannerism, and you know what I come to do. I don't play around at all, especially with this fight right here. You know, so I'm looking forward to this fight. You know, this is everything to me. This is the tiebreaker of me and Muhammad Ali, my all-time great, my idol. I'm looking forward to that. You know, setting history with that. You know, I've never imagined just being able to do so many great things in the sport of boxing, and I'm doing it. I'm living witness that you can be from a little of nowhere. You can come from a place where it don't even consist of boxing, or boxing is not recognized there, and overcome and achieve greatness. And that's what I'm doing. You know, I'm leading by example, and I just can't wait to February 22nd. This Gypsy King is going to get floored to the ground, and this time around, he definitely not getting up.
Yeah, Dave, one of the things that Tyson Fury has been saying in interviews, said it to me a couple of days ago, I've seen it elsewhere, that he says he's coming to knock you out 2 rounds, he says. You know, and we know he's an excellent boxer, but he's not known as a big puncher. Do you think that he's really going to try to come at you, or do you think that's him just trying to talk a good game and sort of hype things up a little bit to make things interesting for the fans?
I really don't know what's their plans or what he's gonna do or what he's not gonna do. What is true about what they say and what's not true. I know one thing, that I'm prepared for anything that he brings to the table. I'm overly prepared for whatever, you know. So if you want to bring the fight to me, then come on, let's make it happen. You know, that'll benefit me more than anything. You know, him coming forward at me. So I hope they stick with that game plan and follow through. You know, don't just be talking for hype. Actually do what you say you're going to do. And I'm looking forward to it. You know, if he does that, it's going to make the fight that much more interesting, and hype the fight up even that much more. You know, so we'll see what happens. You know, deep down in his heart, I really feel that he's nervous. I really feel that he's very, very nervous from the first time of what happened. When you knock a person out and give them a concussion, you know, you never forget that. You never forget who did it to you and how they did it. And when you go back in the ring with them a second time to relive that moment all over again, it has to be stressful. It has to be. You definitely can't sleep at night. And I understand why he's not bringing cameras and a lot of things. He's changing up a lot of things through his team. And you know, I thought the saying was, if it's not broken, then don't fix it. You know, I think he reorganizing that word. You know, if anybody should be changing up anything, you would think it would be me, since he said he beat me so in the wild margin. But that's even not the case. He know what the truth was, and I'm looking forward to it. So I hope he's a man of his word, because I'm every bit of a man of my word. And February 22nd should be exciting for all of us. You know, the fans is winning. The fans is in for a treat. They're the one that's getting that money worth when it comes to this fight right here. They already know what me and Tyson's all about. We come in, we wear our hearts on our sleeves, and we fight to the end. And that's what we're gonna do come February 22nd.
All right, very good, Deontay. I had just one question for Jay. Jay, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Jay, it's Dan here. I was wondering, I don't know if you heard my first question to Deontay. I wondered, I'm sure you've poured over that film between Tyson Fury and Otto Whalen as you prepare for the fight. I wonder, in your opinion, do you feel like Otto Whalen may have softened him up a little bit? And I don't even just mean because of the terrible cut. I just mean because Fury seemed to take more punishment against Otto than he's taken in maybe his whole career, frankly.
Well, the thing about Fury is he always is going to perform better as when people don't think he's going to do it, like he did with Klitschko. He kind of tries to live for that moment where he's an underdog or where people doubt him. So he's probably never going to perform as well against a Pineda or a Wallin as he will in the bigger fights. So we're expecting the best Tyson Fury. We expect he's going to come in the best he's ever been, and that's what we want. I mean, we want there to be no questions whatsoever that at the end of the day, I want Deontay to get full credit for what he's going to do, and not anybody thinking that Fury came in, less than the best he could be, because he's put his time in, he's put his training camp in, he's done all the things he thinks is going to benefit him. So that's what we're expecting, is the best Tyson Fury, so that there will be no way to say anything other than, that Deontay Wilder is the man, and no questions asked after it's over, that he beat the best Tyson Fury. So that's what we're expecting.
All right, very good. Appreciate your time, everybody. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right. Our next question comes from Keith Idek with BoxingScene.com. Keith, your line is now open.
Yes, my question's for Deontay, and if Jay could answer also, I'd appreciate it. I was just wondering, Tyson Fury said last week that he was going to weigh around 270 pounds for the rematch. Just wondering what your thoughts on that are, and do you believe that he's going to come in that high?
I mean, I really don't. Anything that Fury's saying and what he's going to do, I really don't care at all. You know, I'm just waiting on that date to come around. You know, I'm just so ready, you know. I don't care what he weigh in as. I mean, I just want him to be the best Fury that he could be. You know, if that weight suits him and he's comfortable with it, then hey, come on with it. You know, whatever he's saying he want to do, hey, come on with it. This is what it's all about. I want him to be in the best shape. I want him to be comfortable with his weight. I want him to be physically and mentally ready, and for the best fight of his life, because he's definitely in for a great fight come February 22nd. And I just don't want no excuses. I don't make excuses, and I ain't planning on making any. You know, I give him my best when I go in there, and I expect the same thing from him. I don't want no excuse. I don't want to know that. I don't want him to have an excuse that he should have been a little bit smaller or whatever. At this point in time, being that we've had a second fight, he should know where he needs to be as far as weight-wise and everything else, you know. So if he blows himself up, then that's him, you know. But I'm looking for the best Tyson Fury possible come February 22nd.
Okay, could you answer that also?
Oh, I don't have anything to add. I think Deontay said it all perfectly. Same exact thing. It doesn't matter to me what he comes in at. You know, Deontay's been outweighed probably in 38 fights or something like that in his career. So that's all old news to us. So whatever Fury weighs, he weighs, and we're not worried about it. It's not about him. It's about Deontay.
Also, he obviously changed trainers since the last time you fought and very recently. What did you make of him changing trainers, and why do you think that he did that?
For me, I just think it's nervous energy, to be honest. I really think it's nervous energy. And from the first fight, you know, he can go on and say that he beat me in a wide margin, but he don't believe that. He honestly really don't believe that, you know. And that's why he want to change up a lot of things, because if he did really, really believe that, you wouldn't change up so much. He didn't change up from where he trained at to trainers to now he's putting his hand in gasoline to try to make him harder. You know, he done brought so many people in his camp. Like, it's just so much going on. There's so much to keep up with. All the changes. I mean, the next he's going to go see a spiritual advisor. That's going to be the next thing he's going to do, you know, to ease his mind, you know, of what's about to happen to him and his body, you know, come February 22nd. But, you know, all in all, you know, as a fighter, you know, we must do the things that we feel is going to give us confidence up in the fight. You know, I don't think his confidence that high up in the fight when they're dealing with me, because of the state of being that I left him in. I gave this man a concussion. At the end of the day, a concussion is a concussion. And it's easily to happen again the second time around, because the head is not meant to be hit, especially by no power like Deontay Wilder's. So you know, he got a lot to think about. Come the 21st. Before the fight, I think he's gonna be really thinking a lot that night. You know, and when the fight happened on the 22nd, you know, he in trouble now. You know, so I can't wait, man. This is the moment in time for the heavyweight division. It's fire, it's lit, it's on, you know, it's on fire, and I'm planning on keeping it that way. As the heavyweight champion of the world, I'm planning on keeping it exciting. You know, for everyone. It's back. The heavyweight division is back, baby.
Jay, could you just also answer what you think of the change in trainers and how that might impact him? Because usually trainers need a couple of camps with a guy before they kind of click.
We saw that with Virgil Hunter and Dominic Brazil. It's tough to get chemistry, even if you work with somebody in the past. Very tough to get chemistry quickly. It's just something that takes time. So, I think from what I've heard, Javon, I don't really know him, but I think he's a good trainer. From what I've heard, Tyson's he knows how to box, so he knows what he's doing in the ring. So it depends, what they're going to bring to the table together. We will see. I hate it for Ben because I think Ben really was instrumental in a lot more than just boxing for Tyson, as a friend and a mentor and a brother and a confidant and a therapist and boxing coach and everything else all mixed into one. I think he added a lot of value to Tyson personally and professionally. So I hate that for Ben, but at the same time, Fury's got to do what he thinks is best for his career. But our team is solid, our team is consistent, and we've been that way for a long time. So I feel like that gives us an advantage.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, our next question comes from Jim Van. I'm not really sure to say that, but Jim with the PA Media. Jim, your line is open.
Thanks for your time this evening. Really appreciate that. Deontay, are you allowing yourself to look any further ahead than this fight? Because obviously over here in Britain we've got a few fighters who might fancy themselves to be heavyweight champion. But are you just fully focused on what's coming up now?
I'm truly focused on what's coming up now. I always say I never look past a fight, but I do look through them. But this fight means so much to me. At this point in time, it's just about me and Fury. All these other guys, we'll still be here after this fight. I'll still be here after this fight. I'll still be the king after this fight, and then we can go from there. But at this moment in time, it's truly about me and Fury. This is our time. This is our date. This is where we solve it all. We left you guys confused, about what happened. I can tell you what happened. He can tell you what happened, but it's two different versions. But now we have an opportunity to correct the wrongs and to right in people's minds all over the world. And that's what I plan on doing, just proving them clearly who won the first fight, but also not only proving it to them, but doing it in the same fashion, but just in a more dramatic way.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And our next question comes from Mark Lowenwalla with Sporting News. Mark, your line is now open.
Hey, Deontay, throughout this promotion, Fury has said that he's going to go for the knockout. How can a more aggressive Fury, leave himself vulnerable to being knocked out by you and possibly even earlier in the fight?
I mean, it's a strong possibility that can happen, especially him bringing the fight to me. As you can see, I brought the fight to him nearly the whole fight the first time. And if he want to do the reverse and bring it to me and bring all the force to me while I'm already applying force throwing at him, then, it's going to be an interesting fight. It's going to be a short night, but it's going to be an interesting fight. And interesting fights and short nights, you can count me in, baby, because I don't get paid for overtime. So he's playing right into my plans. And I'm looking forward to seeing if he's going to follow through with his game plan. That's going to be exciting to see.
Does your gut tell you that he will follow through with that, or you're not sure?
My gut just tells me I'm ready to go. I'm in the best shape of my life. My gut tells me that I'm prepared more than anything I'm about to put on this show. My gut tells me I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, and I can't be beaten. And I can't wait for February 22nd so I can lay him to rest. That's what my gut's telling me. As far as what he's saying and what he says he's going to do, what he's saying and what he's going to do, I think it's going to be two different things. But that's what makes this fight such an exciting fight, not only with our words, but with our action and waiting to see what's going to happen. So, If he does that, then may God be with him on that night of that fight. Because God may have mercy, but I won't.
I hear you. My last thing is there any part of you that would love to see in an ideal world and Anthony Joshua try to make his way into the ring following this fight?
I'm not worried about that coward. The coward barely got his titles back, let alone talking about stepping in the ring with the king. So he's been out of the picture. Ain't nobody talking about him no more. So it ain't no need to bring him up right here, right now. February 22nd, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Other than that, nobody else is in existence at this point in time.
Thanks very much. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right. Our next question comes from Carlos Toro at Fightful News. Carlos, your line is now open.
Thank you so much, and Deontay, thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. My first question, obviously you're very confident about your power and your ability to knock people out in every single fight. But when you look into this fight, it's rare that we get to see a rematch, and we only seen, or you have a rematch against Luis Ortiz and Bermain Sever. You knock both those guys out. So heading into this rematch with Tyson Fury, knowing what you know about him and knowing what happened in the first fight, do you feel like your confidence level is maybe higher in terms of knocking him out or winning this fight compared to the first fight?
Yes. My confidence is very high. Not just because this is the second fight. This is the second time I'm entering the ring with him. We know each other a little bit more than we knew the first time. But because of my last two performances, I'm coming off of two dramatic knockouts, one in the first round and one in the seventh round. So that's even more of a confidence builder. And I did it at the elite level, at the top level. Both guys, Dominic Brazil, he's a brave soul. He always come to fight, and he's always willing to fight. With Dominic Brazil, that no matter what his skill level says, he's coming to give his best. He done fought at this level before. He done competed for the heavyweight title before, and that was his second time around. So, I got him out of the first round with Luis Ortiz. He's just on a whole nother level. He on the level as, he may not be the boogeyman to me, but he the boogeyman to the rest of the division. That's for sure. Because ain't nobody still to this day ain't calling his name out, ain't trying to fight him. They wanna call him old. They can call him old all they want, and you punks can keep calling him old, but you willing to fight other guys that's about the same age or higher than him, and you will be happy with that. And you try to make all the excuses in the world why they fight is the best and Ortiz is not because he's old. They make me sick in this sport, and that's why I got to continue to keep it live. But coming off those two performances, then coming into the ring with Tyson Fury, knowing that I fought him before, my confidence is through the roof.
Thanks. And one quick question for Shelly, if he's still there.
Yes.
Shelly, it's not often we get to see events like this where we have, different networks work together on this level. We've only seen it a handful of times in the past several years. What does that say, in your eyes, what did that say about Deontay Wilder's growth as a star in the U.S. that it would basically take, not one, but two different networks to throw work together in order to make this fight possible, or put this fight on a different platform than almost any other fight that you see in boxing today?
I was lucky enough to be in the first big heavyweight fight of two networks, and that was Tyson Lewis with HBO and Showtime. They were too big for one network to stop it, and it's the same here. This is the largest, biggest, most anticipated heavyweight championship fight since Tyson Lewis, and neither Fox nor ESPN were going to stand in the way. They all wanted to be part of it, and you see the promotion they're doing. There's never been anything like it, and the week of the fight, it's even going to ramp up more. You've never seen a heavyweight championship being promoted on the Super Bowl.
Thanks, Shelly, and best of luck, Deontay, on February 22nd.
Thank you so much.
All right, our next and final question comes from Jeremy Harridges. Jeremy, your line is now open.
Hi, Deontay and Jay. Thank you for taking the time today. Deontay, you've been critical of Fury's power in the past. Where does he rate on the full spectrum of opponents that you face as far as power goes?
That's a great question. Probably a question that I can't put an appropriate answer to. You know, I didn't feel Tyson. I mean, I can only just tell you, you know, going back in that fight, reminiscing, and going back in that fight, I can't tell you now. No rounds where I felt like I was threatened by his power. I like I said before, and then many quoted me on it, and you can continue that he has pillow as fists. You know, that's how soft they were. You know, in that fight, maybe my adrenaline was too high to even feel anything. Even after the fight, sometimes after the fight you may feel a little sore or whatever. Even after the fight, I didn't feel anything. You know, I took all his punches that the ones that he landed, and I walked right through it. You know, so I don't respect none of his power that he has. He's just a tall, big man, you know, that can move around the ring, and that's about it. You know, as far as power, it's none there, and I don't think he'll be able to develop it. I don't care what trainer he brings in. You just don't develop power just in a couple of weeks, just in a month. You know, just because you bring this trainer that comes in. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, I don't see his trainer develop. I mean, what fighter did he have that he developed to make power as? We got to look into that as well. So if you don't have no fighter that he developed into making into a power puncher, then how in the hell he's going to do Tyson Fury that way in this short amount of time that he had? It's impossible. It's impossible. With a guy with dramatic power to the limit, I would know these things. I'm an expert at that. You know, so I'm just looking forward to the fight, you know, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen on the night of the fight, you know, whether he believes that he's going to do what he's going to do or not, you know, and that's the big question. That's why this fight is so exciting. So many answers, so many questions to be answered, and I'm looking forward to answering everything come February 22nd.
We talked several weeks ago about the drama before your first fight, your broken hand injury. Looking back at your first performance against Tyson Fury, what grade would you have given yourself in that first fight?
Oh, shit, in that first fight, I would probably, I would say I probably 50% or less, you know, to come in that fight. I didn't fight like I normally fight. There's a lot of things that I did that I don't normally do. You know, it's a lot of, you know, we pick out a lot, especially when I look back at that fight. You know, me and Jay was talking about it. I like, man, I could pinpoint so much. I'm like, look, man, I don't even do that. Why did I did that? Why did I do this? I know why I did it, but I don't know why I did it. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things that, you know why you did it because, you know, moving forward, you know, holding my guards high, you know, swinging with no hope, just you know, just doing certain things because of the excitement for the fight. You know, I felt like, you know, like I always said, I felt like I had that opportunity, that moment in time for me. That was a date for me, for the heavyweight division, for in America to be put on notice. And it meant a lot to me because, you know, when I was coming up, no one in America knew who the heavyweight champion of the world were. And it's very hard when you in the division and you're trying to get notoriety and bring it up and bring a sport that is not our top priority, and you try to make it exciting where people get to talking about it again and stuff. And at this point in time, as I sit here and talk to you guys, I can say a job well done. You know, as far as getting the attention back in America, the hype back in America, and so forth and so on. And with this fight right here, you know, I'm ready to do the proper things that I need to be done. I've lived that moment of excitement. I've lived that moment of having my first pay-per-view. You know, this going on, I think, my third or fourth one. And I'm all those things is drained out the pipe. So I'm looking forward to this one, man. And again, I can't wait.
Final question for Jay, if he's still there. Jay, as far as the first Tavern fight to today, how much progress have you seen in Deontay's boxing skills as a pugilist, mentally and physically?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, Jeremy. Deontay does not get the credit that he deserves for the improvement, the skill level that he has, the ring IQ that he has. I don't think people totally get what they're seeing, and sometimes they don't understand the nuances of the sport. But we do what we call a 6-month test. Every 6 months, we ask ourselves, would you right now beat you from 6 months ago? And I can answer 100% honestly that since the beginning of the first day that he came in the gym, that answer has been yes. He 6 months beats him from 6 months ago. He keeps getting better and better and better and smarter and refined the technique. See, the things that people don't really get is and understand the timing, the distance, the spacing, the positioning, all those things that allow you to land those big punches. That's skill. That's maybe the most skill. Now, I know people like to look on the internet and see a guy throwing, on the mitts, a 47-punch combination with, 3 hips, 4 lips, and 5 dips. But that's not reality. That's not against live resisting opposition. And what Deontay does is he puts himself in a position to land those shots. Now, that's more skill than people really sometimes can even comprehend what he's doing. So to answer your question, yes. I mean, his improvement is just continues and continues. And the thing is, he wants to learn. Like he's the kind of guy that he still is hungry to get better and better. And I think that's probably the best compliment I could give any fighter. But Deontay is a whole different level guy.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Deontay, and best of luck, and see you in Vegas.
Thank you so much. See you there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have a few extra minutes, so we're going to take a couple more questions. Next up, we have David Anderson from the Daily Mirror. David, your line is now open.
Hi, Deontay. You okay?
Hey, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. Deontay, Tyson makes a big thing about he feels he's the more skillful fighter, and therefore he can beat your par with his boxing skills and boxing IQ. What do you make of that?
Pardon?
Tyson feels he's a better boxer, he's a better boxing IQ than you, so he can beat your par.
Right. Well, he have to have the confidence to think that that he has some type of skill in this sport to survive in this sport, especially at the elite level. You have to have some type of confidence to differentiate you from the rest. So he's only expressing what he feels. But at the end of the day, we have a time, we have a place. We have a time and place and a date to witness, each other greatness as we share our energy in the ring, and we're gonna see what I've been saying, will I back it up, and what he's saying, will he back it up? And that's a special moment about February 22nd, on Fox pay-per-view or ESPN at the MGM Grand to see who is all talk and who's not.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we will go ahead and go to Deontay Wilder. We appreciate the champ with his time. We know he's busy in training camp, 11 days away until he puts his world title on the line against Tyson Fury in their rematch dating back from December of 2018. Champ, the floor is yours for final comments.
To everyone that's on the call or had questions, thank you guys so much for the participation and the questions. I'm just, again, to all my fans, thank you guys so much, especially to my day ones. Thank you for this love and the support. And here we are, February the 22nd. It's going to be an amazing time in history for me, and as well as you guys are the witnesses to witness greatness, to see what greatness look like and if you come close to me, you'll see what it smells like. And I just can't wait. You guys are in for a treat. You know what to expect in the second fight because you've seen the first fight. And the fight sells itself. There's nothing more needs to be said. I'm just looking forward to the fight, and I'll see you guys there, baby.
Thank you very much to the champ. Thank you very much to Shelly Finkel, JD, everyone involved in today's media conference call. We look forward to seeing you next week in Las Vegas. Again, tickets are on sale, mgmgrand.com or AXS.com. You can purchase the pay-per-view on ESPN Plus pay-per-view or Fox Sports pay-per-view. Thank you to everyone, and we will see you next week in Las Vegas. It is Wilder Fury 2, one of the most anticipated rematches in heavyweight boxing history. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.